Hey YouTube, it's Marquita and I'm here to give you guys a video about starting solids with Riley. So as of today, which is the 12th, Riley is 5.5 months. So she will be 6 months in 2 weeks. I cannot believe how fast time has flown by. And so it's really exciting because she turned 6 months on Christmas Day. So what does that mean? Riley is going to get her first taste of solid foods on Christmas. What an excellent Christmas present for Riley, huh? Okay, so I have a printout from my naturopath of some of the different things that Riley can have, some different guidelines, and I just want to talk a little bit about starting solid foods in general. So I know that there are a lot of different schools of thought. A lot of different people start solids at a lot of different ages. Since we're a natural family and we go to a naturopath, our naturopath recommends not starting any kind of solid food, nothing but breast milk for the first 6 months of life. Now, that's for a couple of different reasons, but the main reason is because of food allergies. It takes about 6 months for the baby's stomach to fully develop, and there's things in the gut called gut flora, stomach gut, same thing. Basically, it gets the baby's stomach prepared for solid foods, and after 6 months, or at 6 months, or after 6 months, the likelihood of your child having a food allergy or food sensitivity decreases. So there are a couple signs that to know that your baby is ready for solids. Number one, they're at least 6 months old, which Riley will be on Christmas. Number two, he or she can sit upright unsupported, or can sit upright supported. Sorry, misspoke. So he or she can sit upright supported. Number three, can hold neck upright. So none of that still like flopping newborn stuff, can sit up and hold their neck up. And then number four, when offered solids on the spoon, doesn't tongue thrust the food out. So a lot of babies still have that reflex that they're born with, and they push the food out of their mouth, which is why sometimes when you see videos of babies eating, more comes out than goes in. So when they're 6 months, that reflex is pretty much gone away, so they're able to take the food in and go ahead and swallow it. So what are some of the different foods that you can give your baby as starter foods when they're 6 months and ready to eat solids? So fruits like bananas, pears, apples, avocados, plums, or apricots. Vegetables like sweet potatoes, peas, squash, zucchini, carrots, yams, green beans, lots of good vegetables, or grains or cereal. Rice cereal, oatmeal, barley, or Malay. So, a quick word about rice cereal. We did not start Riley on rice cereal because it was, number one, I did not want to, and number two, it is actually not recommended by our naturopath and by a lot of actual other pediatricians, depending on what your pediatrician feels or your doctor feels, that rice cereal is actually not healthy for babies. And like I said, this is just my naturopath's opinion, my opinion from doing research and some other pediatricians' opinions. I'm not sure what the American Academy of Pediatrics stance is on it, but there are trace amounts of arsenic in rice. As adults, we can ingest it and there's not any issues, but with babies you can have some different issues. And rice cereal is really like a filler. You don't need anything, babies don't need anything other than formula or breast milk. If you can't breastfeed them, formula or donor milk, they don't need any of that for the until after they're 6 months old. So that's why we did not use rice cereal. I know that the old school of thought used to be to give babies rice cereal at a certain age, but it's really not good for them. It's a lot of empty calories, and there have been studies that it leads to childhood obesity. So we didn't want to play with that at all, so we decided that we would wait. And as you guys can see, Riley is not missing any meals, so she might nurse a little bit more frequently, but hey, who said parenting is supposed to be easy? So that is my little tidbit about rice cereal. So we bought a baby Biaba, and we're planning on using that to steam all of her fruits and vegetables and then kind of like puree them. We're also planning on, now that she has the pinching reflex, so she can pick up so little maybe peas or other things chopping them into little squares so she can pick them up and put them into her mouth. Um, you can also, for purees, you can cook, strain, puree, or mash them and mix them with water. We're planning to just mix everything with breast milk. We don't want to have any food allergies and no other issues with water. So you'll want to make sure that you only introduce one food at a time. So to make sure that your baby, like if your baby happens to have an allergic reaction, you want to make sure that you're only introducing one food and then just wait 3 days before you introduce a new food. So say that we're going to start with an avocado, we would start with avocado and then we wait 3 days, maybe introduce sweet potatoes or something else like that. You want to watch for any skin rashes, diarrhea, irritability, vomiting, or wheezing. Those are different signs of an allergic reaction. So here are all the no's. No. So no fruits, no citrus fruit, no fruit juice, no tomatoes, no strawberries. For vegetables, no spinach, no red peppers, no collard greens, no beets, turnips, eggplant, cauliflower, or broccoli. For grains, no wheat or corn. For protein, all meats. That's meat, tofu, nuts, fish, shellfish, all meats, all proteins. It's a no-no. Dairy, everything that has to do with dairy. No milk, no cheese, no eggs, and especially no honey. There's a huge on all honey jars that says no honey under the first year. And the reason why you're not supposed to give your baby those foods is because they're highly allergic foods. If your baby's going to have any kind of a food allergy, it's probably going to be to one of those. So like maybe your baby's allergic to peanuts or allergic to shellfish. Maybe your baby has a gluten intolerance. So you want to make sure that you're not introducing those foods because you'll want to wait until your healthcare provider tells you that it's a good time period to try those, especially if you have a family history like I'm allergic to peanuts. So those are things like during the first 6 to 8 months. When your baby's 8 to 9 months, then they can start like finger foods or small chunks of food. And at that time, it's okay to introduce tofu, quinoa, broccoli, and cauliflower because their gut will have gotten some more immunity to it and it should be less of an issue. At 12 months, then you can add in additional veggies and fruits and hyperallergenic proteins. It's okay to introduce fruit juice, strawberries, citrus, tomatoes, all those things. You can introduce those at a year old. Um, and I think some WIC professionals actually tell you that babies don't need fruit juice for a really long time, but it's up to you if you want to give your baby fruit juice or not. And then 14 to 15 months, then you can start introducing higher protein foods and some of the foods that could be potentially allergenic. At that time, it's also okay to introduce chicken, lamb, wheat, corn, soy, cow's milk. So you'll want to wait until your child is 14 to 15 months to introduce all of those things. I see some babies eating French fries and steak and other things at like 8 or 9 months, and that's can potentially be hazardous not only because of a choking hazard, but because your baby's body is not quite ready for those things. Um, and then 18 to 24 months, it's okay to introduce peanut butter and other things that could be potentially allergic. And then after 2 years, then you can start to introduce shellfish, beef, pork, nuts, and seeds. So these are the things from my handout from my can't really see it from my naturopath. And so if anybody wants a copy of this, I'm more than happy to scan it and email it to you so that you can know what things are good to give your baby. Of course, we're going to record it when Riley has her first foods. I'm so excited for her to have her first foods. She's definitely been showing a lot of interest in our plates. She's been really grabbing, and I'm really excited for her to be able to eat something. She still will be primarily breastfed. I've had people ask me, "Are you still breastfeeding?" And it's kind of bizarre that people think that breastfeeding stops at 6 months, but no, it doesn't. So we will still be primarily breastfeeding. We'll be feeding her maybe like 1 to 2 times a day, some kinds of a puree or using the mesh feeder. But she will still primarily be getting all of her nutrients through me. So that means that I still have to continue my uptake of calories and really healthy foods so that she can get all the nutrition that she needs. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, etc., leave them in the comment section below. And thanks so much for watching. For all the babies around Riley's age, yay for getting ready to eat your first solid foods at 6 months. Yay! Bye.